Yellow, yellow, flannel time, flannel time, flannel time, ha 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 ha. Hi everyone, yellow thinny, yellow, 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 yellow here, the internet's busiest music nerd. And it's time for a review of the new Alex Cameron album, Forced Witness. Australian singer-songwriter Alex Cameron, he has a new full-length album out. I'm just getting hip to this guy this year. This guy debuted with a full-length album a few years ago titled Jumping the Shark, which is kind of a hilarious thing to title your first record. But what originally got me interested in this album was a strong couple of singles leading up to the release of the album. There was an amazing duet track featuring Angel Olsen titled Stranger's Kiss, and then there's the blood-pumping adventure and wild romance of Runnin' Outta Luck. I was excited but kind of skeptical going into this album because, to be frank, Cameron does look like kind of a weirdo. Most likely a character trait he plays up for theatrics to grab attention, but some of his personality quirks seem a little too natural to merely be theatrics. But Cameron is as much a misfit as he is a songsmith on this album, which you wouldn't necessarily guess given just how weird and lo-fi and kind of difficult to sift through his last album was. Like, I did not anticipate how much of a master of melody this dude would be. I did not foresee his colorful command of the English language, nor did I guess he would take the heartland rock, soft rock, new wave fusion that he brought together on the few tracks that teased up to this album all the way with nearly every song here. I mean, I hear Bruce Springsteen on this album, I hear Tom Petty, I hear Bob Seger, I hear some of the great bands to come out of Australia in the 80s whose music straddled a fine line between rock and synth pop. I mean, this album is really just filled with a lot of joyous, righteous pop music that just makes you want to throw on a pair of tight jeans and a wife beater and just like start striking a bunch of dramatic poses. And no, I'm not just saying that because that's essentially what Cameron is doing in the music video to Runnin' Outta Luck. Not only does Alex stick to this sound and aesthetic very closely throughout the entire album, but he does this style so much justice. Even as he dabbles in a little bit of light disco on the song Chihuahua, or some slow jammed reggae and calypso on the track The Hacienda, which almost rivals the Beach Boys' Kokomo in hokiness. But Alex's self-awareness on the track cuts through the overly saccharine vibe of the instrumental, that and just how dark and gritty his lyrics can be, as he makes nods to diabetes, crying babies, and a variety of other seedy images. I can't tell if he's singing about an old folks home, or a motel, or a brothel, or like a drug den, which kind of brings me to the next major appeal of this album, and that's the lyrics. The lyrics on this album are insane. They're borderline insane, constantly varying between extremes, inspiring and poignant, sad and embarrassing, uncomfortably gross, and undeniably smart. It's in his lyrics that I think Alex's true artistry really shines, case in point the song True Lies, where Alex is singing about the joy of this online relationship, which subconsciously he knows isn't real. He knows that the person on the other end may in fact be catfishing him, but rather than kind of acknowledge the truth that's in front of his face, Alex is happy to take the blue pill and just embrace the bliss. He even goes as far as to say that he sent this person money, this person might be a Nigerian guy, but he says, hey, this dude writes me really beautiful poetry, you should read it. The song is almost like a Weird Al parody. And this is one of many moments on the album where Alex makes some kind of overt lyrical reference to dating people online, or trying to hook up with people online, or doing things online that cause strain in a relationship that he might have, or give him some sort of regret. Namely, tracks like Candy May and the Chihuahua. Meanwhile, the title of the song Stud Muffin 69 reads like the screen name that Alex might in fact use when he finds himself in a chat room trying to talk up some hot teenagers. As in the lyrics of this song, he's talking about meeting with his lover and hoping that she's 18, saying that she might be 17? I said Stud Muffin 69. I meant 96. Sorry. And maybe Alex's attraction to these types of relationships can be kind of explained in the song Stranger's Kiss with Angel Olsen, as him and Angel sort of duet style sing about all that they need being in this more casual form of love. The lyrics on this album aren't just funny. They build up a very strong and very vivid character portrait. A portrait that paints Alex both as a hilariously lovable creepo and a hopeless romantic. There are moments on this album where he triumphs, like on Runnin' Outta Luck, where he's a man on a mission with a stripper out of luck and there's blood on his knuckles because there's money in the trunk. The sexy sax embellishments and ritzy synth chords on this track are fantastic. And there are some spots on this thing where Alex's ugly side shows, like on the cut MARLON BRANDO, where he admits to being this fight-starting hothead that calls other guys pussies and homophobic slurs. He's like a total meathead, but then later in the track he like apologizes for this, saying that this is behavior he knows he shouldn't do. And there are some spots on here where Alex's lyrics just kind of add up to pure poetry, like on Politics of Love, where you can ride in on an eagle or you could ride in on a rug. Doesn't make no difference because around here there's no politics in love. In a verse, Alex goes as far as to say that the devil is in the deets, but the angel's in the sheets, which is one of many couplets and one-liners on this album that are gut-bustingly hilarious and smart. Like on the opening line to the Chihuahua, where Alex says that our love was like a fire, I pissed on it so I could sleep. So I've gone over the sound, the style, and the lyrics of this album, but another major selling point of this record for me is the goddamn songwriting, the hooks. They're so incredible. Again, Alex finds so much power in this style of music, in this 80s pop and rock aesthetic. I wish he drove the rock vibe of the album so much more, because I think it would have added to kind of the macho character of the album to hear some more blaring guitars on this thing. But the sequence drums and the synthesizers do cover most of the bases by themselves. But a myriad of choruses on this thing just totally just seared themselves into my brain after just several listens. She my sweet, sweet Candy May, got me stuck and I wanna stay. And there's blood on my knuckles cause there's money in the trunk. There's this woman on the internet. And all the songs on this thing are packaged into very short, very punchy, to-the-point song lengths and a 10-track track listing. There are a few tracks where I wish maybe the vocals were a bit more eccentric or the instrumentation had a bit more bite, like it could have gone a bit more overboard to match Alex's lyrical energy, his very kooky persona. You know, if you were to completely ignore some of the lyrics on this thing, you might assume this album is just kind of a little run-of-the-mill or doesn't have I don't know, a lot of eccentric qualities about it, but it's really kind of in that portrayal of Alex's character through the narratives on this album that I think this record really comes alive. This album can be deceptively straightforward in a way. Still though, I do not have a lot of complaints about this album, and I enjoyed the hell out of it from front to back. It's whimsical, it's funny, it's clever, it's instantaneously catchy, but there are enough lyrical and musical details on this thing for me to be picking up and hearing new things every time I go back to it just to get another shot of these hooks. I'm feeling a strong 8 to a light 9 on this thing. Transition. Have you given this album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best. You're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe and please don't die. Stay hydrated and eat your fruits and veggies. Over here next to my head is a review of the new Kieran J. Callanan album. You know, listen to another really good, fun, cool, eccentric, off the freaking wall Australian songwriter. Will ya? Okay. Or you can click on the link to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. Alex Cameron, Forced Witness, forever.